rolling time.
Hey, party people!
Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
What's up? I can't hear the music. It's weird when we don't have our headphones on. I hope if the music's ever off, too loud, too quiet, let us know. We'll do our best to mix it. But as a lot of you know, we're on the road. We're in a different house this time. It's not our house. Unfortunately, it's a really nice house. But anyway, we're having a real good time. We're hanging out in beautiful Southern California, and can't wait to journal with you all. We've been getting a lot of new members in the journal party community. I know we got the challenge going again for those of you who have taken that. So we got some new challengers hopefully showing up tonight. Say what's up in the chat. Let us know who is here. Let me get our little ticker going here. And we'll get started in a little bit. What's up, Geeky Witch?
Hello.
Good to see you. Deidre's here. All right. The usual suspects. Pretty good. We are feeling pretty good over in this neck of the woods here. I know we've been keeping some of you guys abreast of what's going on with our pup. He got some pretty good medical news. We're not out of the woods yet. Cancer is a tough thing with that stuff, but I think we got about the best news that we could have gotten.
Yes.
And so, now that we're through that, obviously, the journey continues, but I'm just really appreciative of
very much so.
Getting a little stroke of good luck here. And so riding that wave, riding that high, and it's been really nice. So let us know in the chat what you all have been up to this week. It's good to see you. Sorry about the echo. I just realized we're in like a kitchen with lots of hard surfaces.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not too intense, but
let us know if it's too difficult to hear, but
yeah.
Hi, Kathy. Hello.
Kathy's in the house. We were talking about Kathy today. We were like, oh, I hope Kathy shows up tonight.
Mhm.
It's always so nice to see the familiar faces and stuff, and apparently new faces.
Hi
And
there.
we got His Great Grace for me. All right.
Awesome. New Jersey in the house. Welcome.
New Jersey. Francis, what is up? No sound. You can't hear us? Let us know. But all signals look good on our end. Let me just double check our little audio. Check 1 2. We might have to talk a little bit closer to the mic. We can do that for you. All right. We got Shania. I hope I'm saying that all right. Maxwell.
Hello. Welcome.
Howdy. Arts by Gabby. Go vote for Gabby. Yes. When this is all done, make sure you check out the Facebook group. Gabby's got some really cool art stuff going on. She's involved with some something that Johnny Depp put together. That's really crazy and
That's
awesome. So congrats, and
Good for you.
always if you can support the Journal Party family and all of our creative endeavors for sure.
Hi there.
And
Welcome back.
what's up? We got Leah's here.
Hello.
All right, Geeky Witch can hear us. That's good. All right, good deal. Thanks, loud and clear. Good. Music is faint. Yeah, I've been trying to keep it faint when we don't have our headphones, because otherwise it feeds back into the mic. But maybe we can pick it up. It'll get a little louder when we get into the session, because our app music is a little bit louder. So we'll do a little sound check there too. But appreciate y'all looking out for us here. Kathy said I had to check my Bluetooth for sound. Oh, okay. All right, we got a first timer in the house. Everyone give how do we say this? Letty Cervantes. All right,
Welcome.
First timer from El Paso.
Awesome.
Very nice. Well, happy to have you here. And for any other newbies in the house, welcome to our little family, our little self-reflective collective, aptly named as party people. You guys can consider yourselves party people, or if you're really into it, maybe a party animal. And so it's just to give you the rundown for anybody else who may be new. The way that this works, let me get our show that there. Okay, so the way that this typically works is my wife and I, that's her, also named Alex with an I, Did you just see? Sorry to derail us. Did you see that clip of like SNL when they were? It was two gals, but they were Alex with an E and Alex with an I.
Yes.
People have been sending it to me all week.
Yeah, there's drama with an Alex with an E and Alex with an I in pop culture world, as some of you may know. But no, it is not us.
Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to derail us there with our name musings. But anyway, for those newbies in the house, what the way that this works is what you see on your screen here is the Journal Party guided journaling platform, where we have all sorts of guided journaling programs on there. And so we've got all sorts of different programs, and each program consists of a collection of prompts, and the prompts will display on the screen along with a little timer, and we'll also set a vibe. You can pick music and soundscapes in there. I think, what do you think, lo-fi tonight?
I love it. Lo-fi is always a good go-to.
Yeah, everyone seems to like the lo-fi. So we'll probably do that one this evening. And anyway, whenever you're by yourself, you can also access this via our app or our website at journalparty.com and go through the programs. But tonight we'll be going through all of the prompts together. So my wife and I will take turns reading the prompt that's on the screen and journaling along with you. And then at the very end, we all just hang out, we share our insights and everything. And it's just super powerful. I mean, we've been doing this for a while now, and I think it's there's some secret sauce going on, because it's the same people showing up for the goods every time. And so for any new folks, welcome. So happy to have you here, and I think you're gonna really like this. So if any of you are already journalers, you probably know how powerful the practice is. And one of the things that's been a huge surprise to us is just how much more powerful it is when you actually take the insights and the growth that you've achieved from within and on the page, and you actually bring it into community. And you never have to share what you write. We're never going to make you show what's up. And I always encourage you to be brave in your notebooks. Don't write for an audience except for yourself and to gain that understanding. But if you do feel so inclined, please share your insights with us at the end, and we'll go through some of our own and just kind of talk through it all together. And every week I learn something new about myself and about other people and the way that the world works, and it's just this amazing thing. So if you're just finding your way to us, I'm so glad that you found us, and I really think you're gonna like it. Alex, do you think you want to do the odds or the evens tonight?
I will do odds, so I'll start us off.
I'm gonna write it down because I always forget what you just said. But anyway, so yeah, Alex will start us off with the first prompt, and like I said, we'll just journal alongside you, and then at the end we can all hang out. Let's see, any other housekeeping before I switch the ticker here?
I don't think so, not as of right now. Okay. So we can go ahead and get started.
And I mean, the biggest thing, don't overthink this. There's no wrong way to do it. Just when you see the prompt on the screen, start writing. Whatever comes up, and don't be surprised if you get even more insights later on in the week. Alrighty. Let me get our chat back up so I can see what you all are saying, and if there's anything else going on. All right.
People from all over the country in here tonight. It's amazing.
Yeah. What's up? Mary's in the house.
Hi, Mary.
All right.
Awesome. Another Alex.
Alexa,
excuse me, Alexa.
Or unless it's Alex A. Horton.
I'm assuming it's Alexa, but nice to see you, Alexa.
Alex adjacent. All right. And Kathy says, Carrie may not be able to get on here. Oh, okay. Well, we're wishing your fur baby well. We certainly know how that goes. So, yeah. All right. Well, you know what? If she makes it, she makes it. If not, she catch the replay. That's another thing. You can always go to journalparty.com and catch our replays, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And on there, we host all of the replays as well. All right. Let me know in the chat if you're ready to get this party started. I'm going to start dating my page and get to a fresh page here. Tonight's program is actually one that comes to us through our mental health advisory board. So for the uninitiated, these aren't just prompts that we're ripping out of GPT or something like that. So we really care about making sure that we not only do no harm, but that we're actually helping people through sound psychological practice. And so we've recruited a team of licensed mental health professionals who can review the prompts that we're actually going through. And this one is one of the most recent ones that they have gone through and collaborated with us on. And it's about envy. And so, as you can probably tell, right, the Envy Journal, the Mirror of Desire. So we got 5 prompts for you this evening. We're going to do 4 minutes per prompt, and we're going to hang out, like I said. So I know it sounds like maybe a headier topic, but I think it's one that we're all kind of familiar with in our own
We've all been
ways.
there.
Yeah, and I think ultimately we want to, see where we're letting comparison get the best of us here. So anyway, I don't want to spoil the seeds of your own organic thought as it comes out. So I think it's time for us to just get this party started. I see people are demanding it in the chat. All right, you ready to get going?
Yes, let's go.
Oh, I'm gonna pick the music first before we get going here. All right, let's get us on some lo-fi jams. All right, let me turn off our. All right, sorry for the technical, folks. We ready?
All right, yes, let's get going. Okay, the first spark. Recall a recent moment where you felt a sharp pang of comparison or envy towards someone else's life. Describe the physical sensation in your body and the specific thoughts about your own worth that started to surface as you watched them.
Get ready for your next prompt. Hidden values. Think of a specific quality or achievement in another person that triggered your jealousy or envy. If you strip away the person and focus only on the attribute, what does this tell you about your own deep seated values or things that you truly desire for yourself right now?
A scarcity story. Notice the story your mind tells you about there being a limited amount of success or happiness available in the world. Reflect on how believing in this limited supply changes the way you view your own progress and the success of those around you.
unseen burdens. Imagine the parts of that person's life that you do not see, including their private struggles or the sacrifices they might make to maintain what you envy. How does acknowledging the weight of their full reality shift the way you feel about the single thing you are currently focused on?
Reclaimed energy. Reflect on how much mental energy you spend monitoring or thinking about what others have achieved. If you were to take that same focus and apply it to the small, meaningful action in your own life today, what would that look like and how would it feel to prioritize your own path?
Where are we? How do we get big? There we are, bigger. All right, let me take down the ticker so people don't think that where's the prompts and all that. But hey, folks, we made it. Give yourself a pat on the back or a pat on the journal, whatever you want to do. So let us know in the chat how you found those, and I know personally I was on a little adventure of my own. How were the prompts for you, Alex?
They were great. I actually, this is a very appropriate timing for this particular program because I recently found myself in a situation where I was experiencing a lot of envy. I was catching up with someone I hadn't seen in years, and the life and the career trajectory they were describing is something that I once wanted for myself. And the truth of the matter is, I didn't have the strength and the wherewithal to stick with it. And so, talking to someone who was kind of, excited about all of these opportunities and was really like putting forth the effort that, that career, requires, it definitely stung a little bit. Which was, interesting. And I knew very well in the moment, like, listen, more power to you, but it's okay that, for a moment, of course, I didn't express it to that person, but it was, I understand why it triggered some things in me. But what was lovely about that conversation is that later on, in addition to hearing about all these wonderful opportunities they were being given and all their success, they also opened up about some other things that really put everything into perspective. And even I think it was question number 4, just kind of really taking into consideration the reality of their situation and the fact that we're all human beings and we're all going through something and you genuinely never know. It was a full circle moment for me to then hear, about what was again really going on behind the scenes. And by no means did that make me happy, but it was just one of those moments where it's like, oh wow, yes, we really are all human. We are all going through this thing called life, and it is complicated, and more power to them for all their success. I truly am just in awe because again, it's something that I wasn't able to continue with. And so I give them all the praise. And I do appreciate them also opening up and kind of sharing, the reality of how hard it was to get to this point, and all the struggles that, ensued. So, yeah, it was, I wish them all the best. And, and I also, I think it was encouraging for me. It's like, to hear all the happiness and excitement they were experiencing. I'm in a different phase in my life, but I'm also, doing some really fun, exciting things myself. And it actually kind of helped encourage me and get me, upright again and thinking, you know what, I too can experience this happiness and success. It's just going to look a little bit different. So, what about you?
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I picked up from that was just how empathy can totally shift your situation. And one of the prompts that I think was pretty helpful for me was the one where looking at scarcity. And if I had to like describe myself, I would actually say I trend towards optimism and not having like a scarcity mindset. But that doesn't mean I'm not prone to it. And I was just finding all sorts of areas where like you just check your assumptions, and it's like oh, like, because one of the things I like to say a lot is like I believe there's a creative solution to every problem. But if I actually check like what's been going on and like how I've been behaving and what the thoughts I've been having, it's like, well, those thoughts don't really support that belief that I say that I have about everything. And so it was nice to kind of flip everything on its head and say like, okay, well, where am I assuming that like if somebody else wins that I'm losing? Like not everything's all zero sum like that. I mean, I certainly there are zero sum things, but another thing that kind of popped up in the response for me was just this notion of like there's resources, right? You could probably argue that like, all right, there's something where like, yeah, scarcity could come into play, but one of my favorite things that I think I've like picked up and I've tried to internalize it, abide and present all the things that you think are cool and want to adopt for like how you are and stuff. But anyway, there's just the notion of like resources versus being resourceful. And I think that's huge. I mean, because again, like there's so much you can do if you break out of like your assumptions and start getting creative. And then it's like, okay, well, like maybe that's not mine to have, but like, what do I actually really want? And that was another thing that came up for me was like, oh wow, if I stopped spending so many mental calories on like worrying about like where I am relative to other people, which is hard for me to stop doing, by the way, because I made a career on benchmarking and data and optimization and things like that with marketing. But like, it's like, okay, well, but if I'm gonna play with this notion of being like creative and having abundance around that, it's like, okay, well, maybe if I stopped spending so much time and energy worrying about other things that aren't even mine or I have no control over, and instead start getting creative about the experience that I actually want to have, like, well, suddenly, doors start to open, and then the experience that is mine to claim suddenly starts to materialize and to show up. And I think I've been experiencing that. I mean, it's definitely a journey and a challenge. It's hard not to, especially when you're like trying really hard, like if you feel like you're struggling and then like you look over and like somebody's just like getting the things that you think you want with ease, like maybe you do want them. But like, I think the other thing, I don't know, I do sort of believe that things happen as they should. And
I agree. Yeah.
there have been phases in my life where I've been, like, oh, I want what that person has. And like, it's like, well, now that some time has passed and my life has materialized into what it has, it's like I couldn't imagine if what my life would be like if I got that thing I thought I wanted. We actually had a funny experience the other day.
Oh, I was hoping you would tell us.
So I was an actor in Los Angeles for many years, and I for somebody who didn't live in Los Angeles, they would probably look at it and say like, oh, you were doing a good job. Like I got a really great agent. I was auditioning for all sorts of really cool things, hanging out with all sorts of really cool people, which is a trap, by the way, like thinking that like just by association, other people doing stuff is like, it's like easy to tell yourself weird stories around that. Anyway, there was one particular actor that like every time I would get into a good audition room, they would say, you look just like that guy, or good job impersonating that guy. And I was like, I'm me, I'm my own person. like hire me, don't like pine for this other dude. And it's just funny because like, over and over again I would go into these audition rooms and they would call that out. The actor was Sam Levine, by the way, who he was in Freaks and Geeks. He was in like Inglourious Bastards. He's been in a lot of stuff over the years. Anyway, I saw him walk into a coffee shop that we were sitting outside of, and it was kind of a random coffee shop for us to be in because we had to bring the dog in for an appointment or whatever. And I was like, you know what, I gotta go say hi to him. And I told him what was up. And actually, we had a mutual friend at this point, so it was nice to like actually meet this person who had like by the way had built up into this other completely different entity in my mind. And he was just like the sweetest guy. But what I realized is like, it's like there was a time where like I wanted to be him. And in that coffee shop, like you couldn't pay me. There's no sum you could pay me to trade lives with this person, lives.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I know that's been quite a bit of sharing on my end. So,
but it was so funny to look into
full circle moment.
Exactly. We both experienced some full circle moments this week regarding envy. So, and thank you for all this awesome feedback in the live. We are going to get to that right now.
Yeah. So Deidre says, this was a reminder for me to enjoy my journey and stay self-aware, encourage others in what they are doing, and pick up on any tips they may say or show. Yeah, for sure. And another thing I was thinking about, it's like, it's not always easy, but like, it's way more fun to cheer people on than it is to like be secretly like angry or jealous or envious and stuff. And it's hard because like when you're attached to like a thing and someone else gets that thing like maybe easier than you. Yeah. But like you said, I think, staying self-aware and enjoying your journey. Like that's
Exactly.
the thing. It's like if the one thing that we can say with certainty in this world is that like what is like, you can talk about all the things that coulda, shoulda, woulda happened or might happen in the future, but like there is one thing. Well, these days I don't know that we all agree on whatever the one thing that's happening is, but I would say objectively that's kind of that's the truth. And you know what, I think it's incumbent upon us to honor that and honor what shows up in your experience as something that is uniquely for you. And to get in touch with that, I think that's where you find flow and things.
And I just have to say, I love what you said about picking up on any tips or being encouraged and inspired by these people that we at some point in time you think, oh, is this envy? But if you are listening and it's like you're doing cool things, tell me about it. Tell me how I can get myself into a situation where I'm doing cool things too. It's a much nicer world. And again, as two former actors watching people that have success and and that the whole industry, it's just so nice to start just encouraging and loving people and just picking up on tips and tricks.
Which is hard to do if you're hating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it can be very encouraging if you're looking for those things. So great point.
Kathy said, the only envy I have towards others is being an empty nester because I will never be one. I will always have my forever baby to take care of and advocate for. Most people will never understand or have to be concerned about that. Yeah, I mean, the thing we just said about honoring your own journey, right? Like I said that, coming from like an optimistic and hopeful place, but that's probably really hard to do when you have something that is clearly a challenge in your life. And so, that said, I still think it's important to honor those things, even the difficult things that are showing up in your life, and this is just me talking, but I think that's like what our soul came here to do. I mean, that's just a personal belief, and I don't want you necessarily to adopt that, but I think that like, I don't know, given that we do only have one life experience and it's all tailored for us, I mean, I have it pretty good, I must say, but also there's a lot of difficulty that's come into our lives recently. And, the only way I think to make peace with it is to acknowledge it and to try to find some acceptance around it. It doesn't make it easier by any means, but I will say that the most difficult moments in my life and situations, because what you're talking about isn't a moment. You're talking about, this is a situation that you have tattooed on your life right now and forever, right? So, I hope that you can find ways to accept that. But, the other, I guess what I was getting at is like the most difficult things in our lives are actually the greatest teachers. And, they're also only so difficult because of the love, which, like that is arguably what life is all about. So, would never want to diminish your experience and try to cheapen it or anything. But look, this is one of the things that happens here at Journal Party, right? Like some of us can have surface level stuff, and then others, we come from all sorts of different sets of experience, different walks of life, and we're going through different things. And so, you know what, like, I hope that, you find some ease and acceptance and understanding around everything that you're going through, and that you also get the support. Like my heart goes out to you because I know that a journey like that can probably feel pretty lonely at times. And so, maybe there's an opportunity for you to, connect or engage with other people in similar situations. And, rather than like try to compare to something that will never be, you can find, community and support, with others who, are going through the same thing. So, I mean, always appreciate a really, vulnerable share.
Thank you, Kathy.
Like we can come on here smiling, doing the song and dancing. We totally will every time. Don't worry about it. But I think that, the reality is life is real. Life is hard a lot of times. And, like, man, some of us, or all of us, That is true. All of us get dealt some things, that are just going to be our challenges to go through. And so, I just personally, I hope and pray for some ease in your situation, so that you feel good about it. Geeky Witch says, my comparison of where my life has gone compared to other people is really what really gets me hung up. Sorry, I have to read that again. My comparison of where my life has gone compared to other people. Oh, is really, yeah. Well, I mean, comparison. Like you were just kind of touching on that. Like it's hard not to, because it's like, I don't know, especially if you care about like doing a good job, or like doing, even just like doing right by your life, honoring your own life. Like, well, how are you supposed to know that you're doing a good job, right? Like you kind of have to compare. You kind of have to look around and say like, okay, like, well, what am I trying to do? And like, what are other people, who are trying to do similar things? Like, where are they at? And I get swept away in that. But the more I just like kind of actually go within, and operate from center, as opposed to from an external locus of control. I think that's been helpful for me. But I feel you. I think a lot of us feel you.
Absolutely.
Kathy said, my success isn't limited in comparison to others around me. It's just not typical or one-dimensional. I have achieved a multitude of goals that others would never have to put on their to-do lists. Some of my goals just need altered objectives. Yeah, well, and look, I can already see that you found a way to honor your own personal experience. So, forgive me if I try to speak wisdom onto, a comment without, full clarity or, understanding of the situation. But, I mean, we see you show up week after week, Kathy, and, I'm always delighted to see the shares that you put up there, and I always learn something. So, I think it's good. You're acknowledging that, like, hey, you're going to find your own way in all of this. My hope would be, though, that for all of us, even though we're going to all find our own ways, like, I think that, one of the things that I've really just loved is communing with all of you. And so, it's so fun to journal through life together with all of us. And so I look forward to, providing support wherever we can. And where, the other side of it is hopefully success, like virtual high-fiving all of you for even showing up for this sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Let me, we got some weird like robot music going on in the background here. Let's put something a little more chill on. All right, there we go. All right. Gina said, I'm celebrating completing a huge milestone today. There's a virtual high five for you. I submitted my doctoral thesis 30 years after I set the goal, but I did it. Most people don't take that long. Most people don't do it.
Exactly. Just give yourself a little more credit, Gina.
Most people don't take that long, but I tried not to compare myself to others' timing. 212 pages.
Wow. Congratulations.
Good on you. Congrats. That's that virtual high five thing I'm talking about. And, yeah, I mean, look, your journey, you're doing it your way, right? What's that song? The one that all the old guys like to play at their
Oh, I know. I did it my way.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But that is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Congratulations.
You
That's
should be
amazing.
so proud of yourself.
And like, maybe someone's jealous of you right now. Maybe
oh yeah, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of that. That's incredible. What an accomplishment. So good for you, Gina.
All right, we got AHAF handwriting analysis. It was so helpful for me to process the project I'm trying to get done. And the last one about focusing all my energy on one thing, that was the answer I needed. Thank you for this. Well, you're so welcome. Look, this is why we've got a board, because like, sometimes I think I come up with really great prompts, but like sometimes I send them over to our pros over there on the board, and they're like,
no, yeah.
And so, it's really good. I get something out of it too. So I'm glad you found your way here, and that you got the answers that you needed. One of my favorite things about this is like, I mean, so much of us spend so much time like, listening to other people, and, there's so many talking heads and gurus out there. And look, like, if you've got the goods, deliver the goods to the people. There's no harm in learning stuff, but similar to the way that like we, find ourselves comparing, to other people, it's like, well, you're talking about someone else's life, and nobody has as much context on your own situation as you do. So what could be more powerful than going within, seeing what's going on, underneath the surface? Like, sometimes it takes a few prompts to like really get to a deeper level, but I always come out with some learning. And then my favorite thing is just to be able to bring it here and talk about it, because like it's like sometimes like I'll pull something out too, and it's like then somebody will come out of left field from this community and share something that I totally not thought about, and it opens up
Absolutely.
our whole
Yeah,
world.
that's
So
what we love about the sharing component about Journal Party Live. So thank you for that share. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like the handwriting analysis. I know we've been talking about that with our pal Victor on our board, and curious, when you look at your notebook, like do you notice handwriting changes as you experience different insights in your notebooks? Let us know in the chat. I know that when I open my notebook, I can flip to any page and kind of tell you what kind of state of mind I was in. I've got like 4 handwriting archetypes, I think, that go on in my journal. Makes it easy because I don't put the little tabs on it. I can usually, it's like, let me find that part where I was wigging out. Leah says, it is so hard not to compare yourself to others. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, and we're humans, and it's part of the human experience. So, don't beat yourself up about it. We all go through it, and we all experience it. And I think, especially with social media, it is very, very difficult to, sometimes be scrolling through, and again, just seeing people's, again, their highlight reels, and they truly are. There's so much going on underneath the surface. So, despite everything looking so perfect, again, we are all humans. We're all going through something. We've all, had our own struggles, and what's being presented on the outside into the public is not always what's going on. So just remember to keep that in mind. But I do understand it is hard.
It is. And, not to say that, like, look, there is utility in comparison for sure. I mean, it's helpful to like know where you are, but like make sure that comparison's like on something that's like objective. I think like when it's, more qualitative, like that's when it can get me into trouble at least. And it's like, all right, let all that go. And like, what do I want? Like, how am I going to show up today? And I think that's maybe, at least for me, that's what's been helpful. Terry Ann says, learning to remember that my journey is mine. Exactly. Stop comparing it to others. And, like, isn't it a crazy thing that, like, I mean, because I know how intense my life can feel and how big my world can feel sometimes, or like just how much is going on, and like how much of that is like only in my experience. But then like, you ever just like kind of like snap out of it, like maybe in a public place, and you realize like everyone walking by you is going through their own version of like whatever, and it's probably not the same or exactly what you got going on, but man, we've all got these journeys, and it's a beautiful thing. And to get caught up in, I guess to get caught up in that comparison is it's tricky. Kathy says, everyone shows their A sides of life and very few show their B sides. I'm forthcoming most of the time about my struggles, and it's helpful. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's always nice too to know that you're not alone if you happen to be going through something similar. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I always try to be as transparent as possible with other people because, I know, again, just like everyone, it can come off a certain way, but, the reality of the situation sometimes can really help someone and really put things into perspective. So good for you, Kathy.
Perfect's boring.
Yeah.
Charlene, let's see. Charlene says, relationships. It's always easy to see all of those couples that are going on 5 years, 10 years or more and wonder how they do it while being in a relationship. And you see all the daily things make your situation look and feel so hard. But relationships are not always what they seem. I try not to put myself down when I have relationship struggles. Yeah, well, I mean, look, relationships, it's inherently complicated because we were just talking about how we all have our own world, and then you have to somehow reconcile that with somebody that you attach yourself to. Like, it can be intense. I mean, I would consider us one of those, longer term successes, but like it's still hard.
Absolutely. It's still a struggle. We still, argue. We still get into it. It's, 100%. So again, despite what it looks like on the outside, truly have no idea what's going on behind the scenes,
Yeah, well, and definitely don't put yourself down or beat yourself up about it. I think like as long as you can look honestly at where your own heart is coming from and feel good about that, like things will happen, breakups, people will do wrong by you. And like, unfortunately, we're all flawed humans trying to find our way. And so, forgiveness is a good thing. We've done programs on that, but like ultimately you're dealing with a whole lot of stuff you can't control, but what you can control is like where you're coming from and, how you decide to show up in this world. And, when you show up as your best self, the best person will show up for you. Thanks for the share, Charlene. I'm glad that we got like the relationship angle in there, because
for sure.
It's one that I personally hadn't been writing about.
Yeah.
Leah says, "Got to remember, comparison is the thief of
it
joy."
Really, really
I was hoping someone would put that quote up.
Yeah.
For sure. Unless you can find a way to celebrate, the successes of others, and then I think,
But it is a journey, I have to say. I know I've been down that road, and, it takes a little time and it takes a little maturity and experience to get to that point. But it's so true. It truly is the thief of joy. So thank you for that reminder.
Good share. Kathy says, compared to others, my house is always filled with cartoons, coloring books, and laughter. Even on the hard days, there's so much joy. I get to be front row of that. Others may never get to bask.
That's a lovely way to put it, Kathy. Good for you.
I love that I saw the
whole train right? of thought and getting to that conclusion. That's a beautiful thing.
Way to land the plane, as they say. Arts by Gabby says, stop being jealous and stay positive.
Try Amen. It out. Yes.
And Kathy's getting some love. That's another one of my favorite parts of this whole thing. It's not just us talking at y'all. I love how you guys, are there for each other as well.
Totally.
It's such a cool community to be a part of.
And again, you're not alone.
Patricia says, at age 80, I find myself looking backwards rather than striving for the future. Another awesome perspective that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. I think meeting life's challenges head on, realizing you did the best you could, and refusing to have regrets in your decision making is the best advice I can offer. Also, setting healthy boundaries with others who tend to be unkind. A very wise counselor once told me to be gentle with yourself.
Wow. Thank you, Patricia, for that.
Solid wisdom.
Yes. That we all need to hear, so greatly appreciate it.
And it's like, and it's real. Like I could probably say something like that, and it would be from like a book I read or something like that. But your lived experience is apparent in your comment, and it hits harder. It lands. So, Patricia, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia.
Okay, what do we got? Geeky Witch. Sorry, I may not be speaking great sentences tonight. Enjoying a drink. Well, party on. Gabby says, I've been feeling this way this week, and now I'm going to change that around for me and acknowledge how much I have accomplished over the times.
That's great. Good for you, Gabby.
The gift of presence, right? Give it to yourself. Kathy says, I come every week for the songs and dances of the Alexes. The best thing for the middle of the week for me. And us, by the way.
Yeah.
I full disclosure, full transparency, like usually like the 20 minutes leading up to this, we are not our ideal best selves. And we get on here, we journal with you all, and
he's meditating, I'm complaining, and then we stop for a moment, take a breath.
Always feel good after these.
Yes.
So
and you really boost our moods as well. And I hope everyone has that similar experience.
Gina says, first night here, it felt divinely orchestrated.
Oh, I'd love to hear that, Gina.
Yes, one of us. You're so welcome, and I hope you make it back.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Gabby says, I really needed this refresher and new attitude for making me feel better for the rest of the week. Yeah, I
Awesome, Gabby.
right? Like the hump day. I do like that we do it Wednesday, like midweek. Like it probably wouldn't have been my first choice. I'm not sure why we landed on Wednesday. Originally, we were Thursday, but it is like perfect way to break up the week. Mary says it's easy to compare others around us or on social media, but we don't always see their struggles or their paths to get their success. Giving grace and celebrate my gifts helps me with some jealousy. Good. I mean, yeah, Mary's always got the wisdom too.
Spot on, Mary. Yep.
Gabby says, thanks, Mary. Definitely comparing other artists, even on IG. I've seen some of your art's pretty good.
That's great.
And yeah, definitely. Again, if you're in the Facebook group, go click on Gabby's thing. Support our party people. When I open my journal, I easily notice my handwriting I have a great, I think we got a typo in there or something. It sounds like you got good handwriting, which I'm comparing, and I'm jealous.
Yep.
I'm envious. Working on it. Kathy says, I definitely see the difference in my handwriting depending on what I'm writing about and where I'm physically at when I write. Oh man, it's weird. Like sometimes I have beautiful handwriting and it looks so like coherent and I can like, and then other times it's like, I got to do a meme about that. I think I've done a few. I've been memeing lately. What's this one that kids do?
Dabbing, stop it.
You can't dab at journal party.
No, you're not allowed. We're too old for that.
Gina says, yes, I feel like I have 3 different handwriting styles when journaling, and it would be a great study to see what each style means. Yeah, well, fortunately, I believe we're getting connected with the handwriting analysis folks, and yeah, so maybe we'll put together a program where like we can submit handwriting or something like that. That would be super cool. We've got Letty Cervantes. It's not a race. We are all winning our own race at our own pace.
I love that.
Woo! Yeah.
That's great. Very well said. That is precisely what is going on.
And then you said, I always tell my patients your success rate is 100% since you are here every day. Love that.
That's amazing.
Isn't it amazing how like just a shift in perspective can change your whole reality? And it's like, I think the other side of that is like having the presence and the awareness, which journaling is obviously great for, right? Because you can identify when you're, on some BS and stop on a dime. It's like, to know thyself. It's like, all right, I know that I'm doing that thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's leading to not feeling so great, not so great results. And then, hey, you also have this record of when things are great and what are the ingredients that do produce good results for you, Focus on that. Those are your ingredients for your cake that you're baking.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, maybe one day we can all have some cake. All right. Charlene says, healthy boundaries are the best gift you can give yourself. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, healthy boundaries. And we've also got some good boundaries programs on Journal Party. I need to run more of our boundaries programs through the mental health board now that we have it, though, because I think those came like maybe beforehand. I collaborated with my own personal therapist on it, but I don't know. I like having the board and having it be all official with the badge and the seal of approval and everything like that. So yeah. Anyway, we're going to get a lot of really great programs through that board for you guys because clearly they produce some really great results, I think. It's a really, powerful experience, and I'm so grateful that we get to share it with you all every week. So just a little bit of housekeeping. Obviously, we are, in flux, out and about and stuff. So thanks for bearing with us while we probably don't have perfect sound quality and lighting and all that stuff. But, that's not what it's about. I think, we're getting to some real good stuff here. And I promise, we're going to keep doing our best to deliver the goods. Right now, we are doing the 21-day Fill Your Journal Challenge again. So some of you folks, the last time that we did that, may have been on our old platform. If you don't have access and you already were in the challenge, send me an email, alex@journalparty.com. We'll make sure you get the full access and get in on that. Otherwise, it's you can go find that in our programs section on our site under the journeys. So under programs, there's prompts, and then there's journeys, and that's the new thing. So, we've got these programs, we call them power prompt programs. That's like what we did tonight. But journeys are made up of things like videos, and they're multi-day adventures. So, obviously the power prompts are great, like when you just need like a, bite-size, journaling session that's focused and productive. But, we're going to start building out these journeys that can help you, over an extended period of time with multiple modalities. So right now, the only one up there is the Fill Your Journal Challenge, but we are currently working on a memoir building program. I'm thinking that we should probably do a gratitude one. Whatever your ideas, like whatever you're going through, let us know, because we actually, not only do we have, the ability to present it in this really cool format with the guided journaling and stuff, but we actually have people that can make sure that the content is really good and is really going to serve you. So, feedback is always welcome. We will take it in stride. And I think that's all I got in me for today. Is there anything else you want to share?
We do have another live event, not Journal Party Live, but in-person event.
IRL.
Yes, in real life, happening in San Diego on May 17th. And we'll be posting about that very soon with more details. But we're excited about that. So I know we have, I know Gabby, we have in the Southern California area. I'm not sure how many people are in Southern California, but if you happen to be anywhere near San Diego, keep your eye out for that. It's a wonderful experience, and we host it at my friend's business, which is this amazing vintage shop, and it's just such an incredible space.
Your Space Collective.
It's called Your Space Collective, and again, all the details will be coming out soon, but we would love to see you all in person if that's a possibility. No problem if not. Hoping one day we could start to travel a little more and host events elsewhere.
And on that note, help us grow, folks. Give us a like, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so that you get the reminders whenever we do these, and share it. It's these Wednesday nights at least are free. So, if you hear someone who's, maybe a little envious of your journaling habit, this is a real great way to get into it. So please, we'd always appreciate it when you invite folks to join the party. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.